one can stop the Terminator! Fans on patrol. I said I'll be back. What's happening, fans? Montago Bradley, Fans on Patrol, here to give you your review of Terminator Genisys, the movie we have been waiting years to see, fixing the Terminator problems. Hopefully. Here's our review. Let's get it off. First of all, we start Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course. He's playing Pops. He's the older, seasoned robot, the T-800. And then we had Jason Clarke, who plays John Connor. We have Emilia Clarke, who plays Sarah Connor. We have Courtney, Cal Reese, and KJ Simmons was also playing Officer O'Brien. Now, to get things started off, if you've seen the trailer, sadly to say, you kind of seen the movie. They did a really horrible job with pretty much showing the whole plot and who the reveal of the villain, John Connor being the villain, in the trailer. I was really hoping that something else would come from it, but I mean, kind of, you seen the trailer, fellas, what are you doing? You don't show the whole movie. That's a mistake that a lot of movie studios make, but then they did it. So here we go. Arnold Schwarzenegger was great. If you were worried about him pulling off the role of a Terminator, whether if he would look the role, nah, he did it. He looked great. He did what he was supposed to do. Now, Emilia Clarke, from Game of Thrones fame, she played Sarah Connor. Now, she was very capable. She did her own Sarah Connor. She wasn't trying to be Linda Hamilton, but I think maybe she should have been trying to be Linda Hamilton. She just didn't seem like a character, in my opinion, that grew up in the 80s. And she wasn't an 80s person. She didn't even come close. And I think that was a big problem because I never believed her being Sarah Connor, not because she wasn't acting like Linda Hamilton, only because she just didn't seem like she was the fish out of water, story, because there was a lot of time travel in this movie, and that was great. One thing that was really good about the movie is they showed the destruction, the end of the war that we had been hearing about in Terminator the whole time. That's right from the beginning. That's not a movie spoiler. They showed that in the trailer. And that's something that was good for the fans. Also, what was good for the fans was just seeing John Connor as an adult and seeing him, being the John Connor that we heard that whoops all kind of ass. And that was beautiful. But that's where things kind of went downhill. The story was zippity-doo-dah and zipped here and zipped there. It wasn't hard to follow, but it just kind of got disinterested after a while. That's how I felt. You might feel a different way. I have to tell you that the movie, the special effects was great. There were a lot of Terminators. There was all kind of stuff just happening left and right. But that's all that was happening. I wasn't pulled in. I wasn't intrigued. I was patting my foot at one moment waiting for the movie to be over because it didn't have me like that. And it's not for my lack of excitement. I love the Terminator movies. I love Terminator 1. I love Terminator 2. I even kind of like Salvation, but I like Salvation, but this movie kind of felt more like Judgment Day. It was better than Judgment Day, don't get me wrong. But it wasn't the movie that I thought it was going to be. I thought it could have been. Courtney did a good job, but he played his own Cal Reese. But they used a lot of references to the very first Terminator. They used new actors reshooting scenes. And if you were going to go that deep into the history and the lore, then I think maybe the main character should have did a better job at reminding you of those characters played by, Bean and Hamilton from the beginning. And they were nowhere near like those characters, which was fine if you wasn't referencing so much to the old. And then you got Arnold Schwarzenegger in it looking exactly like his old character, but old. So that posed a problem for me. I have to tell you, if you're a Terminator fan, you're going to go see this movie and you'll say, oh, it was okay. But, I mean, I think it could have been better. I'm going to absolutely tell you to wait for this to come out on DVD, rent it. I mean, I don't think I'm going to add it to my collection. You never know. I might just do it just because it's a Terminator movie. But I wasn't excited about this movie. I'm not excited about this movie. A little disappointed, but it was okay. Scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 7. You can check out the full review of this movie on fansonpatrol.com. We just talked about it on the podcast. Listen to the podcast. Also, you want one of these shirts? We're selling these shirts. We're also doing a giveaway. We just had a winner this week on Twitter for the Fans on Patrol t-shirt. Check us out on all our mediums. And until next time, stay on patrol.